What led me to becoming funded in 6 months? A lot of people say it's going to take years, but I'm here to say it doesn't. I started off with the TGR bootcamp. I was struggling through all these different demo trades, and then I was up 5% on 1 month. And then my mentor went to me and said, why don't you just trade funded accounts? I trade the evals so you can risk a real money. And at the time, I'm working a job. So I'm like, okay, I don't mind spending 50 quid here and there. I should be able to pass at least one. And I blew about 6 to 7, 10Ks in a row with good account management, like 1% each trade. I just wasn't getting it. I had no higher time frame narrative. Then I came across my mentor, 5GM, and then I was like, okay, what can I really do? And I didn't listen for the next 2 months. I continued doing what I was doing wrong. I was doing OTE, I was doing ICT, I was doing all these different guys that weren't helping me, but I couldn't see that through my own eyes. And then I was like, okay, what am I actually going to do? I had a talk with my mentor, and he was basically saying, okay, you need to fully lock in with the content. I was learning through everything. And then I started trading the actual model on December like the 10th. And January the 31st, I passed my first ever funded account. And obviously, we couldn't trade during the 2 weeks at the end of December and like 1 week at the start of January. So it's basically like a month. And a lot of people think my progress is very quick, but I'm here to tell you it's actually quite slow because I made a lot of mistakes. But those mistakes pushed me to actually becoming a better trader. And now I can make my own outlooks. I can do my own daily bias. I don't actually need to rely on outside sources anymore because I've learned the main skills that actually brought me to becoming funded. And I passed this funded account with 100% win rate in 2 weeks. I passed the phase 1 in 1 week. I passed the phase 2 in another week. And it's basically crazy to think that I passed the account in the minimum trading days. Like, who else is doing that? And then I basically, 2 trades is all it took to pass. And I was struggling through every single trade back in the day, 1% risk. And I was taking setups like 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 6. And in my art, I was all over the place. There was no type of mechanical edge to my strategy. It was all discretional. I trade discretionally, so I use my bias, I use the weekly time frame. I'm a swing trader, but then also using all of these extra confluences, they just clouded my mind. Sometimes learning too much is the downfall of a lot of people. Like, I was learning breaker blocks, all these different types of things, but if I focused on what actually was simple, I would have got funded way quicker. And there's no would have, could have, should have in trading. It's what happened and what I've done. I passed my 50K and I've got multiple that I've passed as well now. And it's quite a bittersweet feeling knowing that I could have passed earlier, but I chose not to. At the end of the day, it's your own choice. Sure, you have some type of family situations, but a lot of the time, it's all in your mental. And if you can break out of those types of molds you put yourself into, there is no way that you can't become funded, become a better overall trader, better person, if you just fully focus on improving yourself rather than worrying about the negatives or saying, yeah, bro, you didn't do that. It's impossible to get funded that quickly, or it's impossible to do this, rather than accept that a lot of people can do it and just move on. And I post a lot of TikTok videos, and on my first video, a lot of people were saying, you're cooked, TGR is a canon event. But what did I do from that? I didn't cry about it. I just learned and I moved on. I didn't become a victim. A lot of people, they say, yeah, it's impossible, it's impossible. They're already victims before they've even started trying. And that's what causes their downfall before they even start. And, no one can say anything now because I'm funded and I got a payout. So, like, it's crazy to see the journey and the growth. And, I've amounted a lot in my trading career now, and I've only just started. And it's actually crazy, like, 6 months ago, where was I? I was just sitting on my desk at 12 a.m. at night time, just learning and learning and learning. Liquidity sweep this, order block that. And now I can put everything together and actually execute a plan. The main thing is I don't switch strat, don't switch plan, I don't rush anything, and I don't force any setups. That's the best way possible to move forward. You got to plan your day around winning rather than planning your day around, okay, just trading, just trading. You got to win in every part of your life, and there is no way that you won't become funded even quicker than I did. Or if you're struggling along the way, just get a mentor, and it's not even that hard to fully lock in with someone by your side that's already done it. If you know someone's got the experience, you should invest in those types of people, and that's the best way forward. Frame, we had this higher time frame for value gap, and I already anticipated that this low of the week was already put in. So I waited for my limit order to get tapped, and I woke up to running into some nice profits. That's when I took my re-entry. As you can see, the original RR was a little bit lower, and then I re-entered over here, and we ended up getting a nice like 1 to 3 added on. Because I took on an eval, I risked 2% on the original position and 1% on the next one, and then this passed my phase 1 in one trade, which was quite nice. You might be wondering why I took it at this high. This is not just like some random high. It's when DXY took its draw, and obviously DXY holds high time frame as king, so you got to look at those types of draws beforehand. And you know, it's a 6 setup. You don't really catch low of the day to like the pip when you're high time frame swing trading, but if you think about it, all of these candles move to these higher time frame points of order flow and these points of interest, so they're more likely to tap into these parts rather than just expanding from nowhere. And then my second entry stop loss was at low of the day, or supposed low of the day, due to displacement out of the 4-hour FEG. So it was a great trade and a great setup.